All right. All right. I think this is going. Welcome, welcome. This is my first ever live stream coming to you from my virtual yoga studio today. My adorable dog, Carver, may or may not be participating. Hopefully he doesn't bark at any of the other dogs. So if you feel like joining me today, feel free to grab any props you need. You don't necessarily need a yoga mat. If you have a block or any props like a thick book or something to use in place of a book, in place of a block, that would be great. So we'll just give a few minutes for everyone to get here. Yeah. Let's make sure everything's happening as it should be. Yeah, nice. Okay. All right. Hello. All right, let's see. Is this working? Almost here. Almost here. All right. Okay. Now we got it. Doing two things at once, both YouTube and Instagram. Again, hello. My name's Coco. This is my adorable dog named Carver. Oh, he's such a good boy. So lucky. The sun is coming in right now. Feels great. It's been kind of cold all day, so this is wonderful. So, all right, if you have any yoga props that you want to grab today and make your way to a mat, a towel, or just a carpet, whatever you have, it will work. We'll make it do. So feel free to grab a block or maybe even just like a thicker book or a Kleenex box or just a box if you need something to help support you. Yeah, hi. So I'm going to take off my slippers and let's begin. Yeah, let's come into a wide-legged child's pose here. Coming down onto your mat, bringing the knees out wide here, the toes touching, then sinking the hips down and back. Walking the fingertips out forward to the front of the mat. And just allowing the heart to drop, the stomach to drop right between the legs here. Letting the forehead come down. And feeling free to rest the head on a block or your book, or just on the mat if that feels good. So today we'll be taking this 30-minute practice just to feel good, to get in our bodies, get some movement, and hopefully leave feeling super restored. So tapping in here, settling into your mat, settling into the carpet, or maybe even the grass if you're intrepid enough. And just allowing yourself to land. Checking in with your breath here first and foremost. Our breath can tell us so much about what's happening. So just notice your natural breathing here. And then begin to notice your thoughts, your emotions, maybe your stress levels, anything that's swirling around in your mind, and then anything that's swirling around in your body, those sensations, gripping, tension, ease. And then kindly acknowledge it all. Like all of that stuff is important. Acknowledge it. Give it a moment to say hello to you. And then kindly ask it to step aside for the next 30 minutes. And then begin to deepen your breath here. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose and a nice steady breath out through the mouth. Letting go of any gripping that is in the hips or the inner groin, in the shoulders. Take a nice another deep breath in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. Feeling yourself get a little bit more relaxed, a little bit heavier into the mat. Beautiful. And now this breath, we're going to let just everything go here. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, holding at the top of it, and then exhaling all it out. Nice. We're going to add a little bit of movement here. So we're just going to rock side to side, these little micro movements as we rock to hip to hip. Getting some fluidity, some lubrication in our hip joints here. Being aware of all the points of contact on the mat. And then bringing that movement all the way up to your forehead as you rock your forehead side to side on the mat. Really reaching through the fingertips here. We'll stay here for 3 more nice deep breaths. Letting your heart open towards the ground. Maybe coming into a mantra or an intention for this next 30 minutes. Maybe just the intention to feel good. The intention to get some movement, some blood flowing. Nice, beautiful. We're gonna slowly come up to a nice tabletop pose. Being conscious here of how we're moving, really spreading out through the fingertips, being nice and easy with the body, stacking the shoulders right over the wrists and the knees directly underneath the hips here. Options are to keep the tops of the feet down on the ground or curl the toes under here. Hi. Yeah, nice. Beautiful. We're going to come into some cat-cows here. We're going to inhale, drop the belly down, take the gaze up, push up through the hands. Find that nice big arch in the back. On your exhale, we're going to slowly curl everything in, pushing away with the hands, finding this like scared cat pose here, and taking the gaze down between the thighs. And now moving with your breath or staying in any spot that feels sticky and needs a little bit more attention here. And we'll take 3 rounds. Moving how your body needs to move. Giving yourself a gift of moving how your body is craving. Nice. And then we're going to slowly make our way back into our child's pose. We won't be here long because we're going to add on a little bit of movement. So really spreading out through the fingers here. I don't know if you can see me because of my beautiful puppy, but spreading out through the fingers at the top of the mat, like we're clawing through them. Beautiful. On our next inhale, we're going to inhale, bring the right knee up to the right tricep, and then come all the way back down to our child's pose. Nice. On our next inhale, we'll come back up, bringing the right knee to the right tricep. Giving it a nice little kiss, and then bringing it all the way back down. Nice. On your next inhale, come all the way back up. But we're going to add on here by bringing the right knee to the right tricep, then setting the right foot down right next to the right pinky. The foot is kind of angled out towards the right side of the room here. And then coming into the hands, we're just going to hop that back knee a little bit more forward so that we're coming in kind of to like a primal squat here. Nice. Beautiful. Now we're going to bring the left hand all the way over to the left corner of the mat here. And we're going to inhale, reach the right arm up, arch the body up towards the ceiling, and take that right arm back. Circling all the way back through towards the front of the room. We're going to drop the head, reach both hands forward. Beautiful. We'll do that again. Inhale, bringing that left arm back, reaching that right arm up and over. And then exhale, come all the way through, reaching towards the front of the room, dropping the head, finding this nice deep flexion in the spine. Nice. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, coming up, reaching, finding opening in the heart and the chest. Expansion. Think expansion. And then coming all the way back through. Nice. Beautiful. We're going to slowly come up onto the left knee. And we're going to bring the right leg alongside of us. We're going to bring all four corners of the foot onto the ground. We're going to reach the arms all the way up into the air. Find length here in the side body. And then we're going to bring the right hand down onto the right leg and reach up and over, coming into gate pose here. Yeah, and now here, as we're reaching up and over, taking a nice deep breath, filling up in the lungs. And then maybe even spiraling the ribs, spiraling the heart up towards the ceiling, the sky. Beautiful. One more breath here. And then we'll slowly come into a counter gate, bringing that left hand down, reaching that right hand up and over. And then bringing both hands down towards the ground, coming into the tabletop pose with the right leg extended. The toes are on the ground here, and the heel is stacked over the toes. The shoulders are stacked over the hands, and we're finding integration in the shoulders here. So we're pushing up and out through the hands here. We're pushing up and out through the middle of the back, so the back is nice and neutral. Beautiful. And on our next inhale, we're just going to roll that heel towards the back of the room. And then slowly come forward, rolling the shoulders over the wrists. Beautiful. Slowly come back, finding a stretch in the top of the foot, the ankle, the calf. And then slowly roll up and forward. One more time, rolling back, pushing away with the hands here, finding some resistance. Beautiful. One more breath. Nice. Now from here, we're going to come back to neutral. We're going to just lift the toes up here to find the thigh integrated. And we're going to make a semicircle all the way over with our right toes to the left side of the room. So we're going to inhale, drag the toes over to the left side of the room and take a peek at those toes. Coming into like a lateral side body stretch, inhale back to center, bringing the toes back out behind you. Beautiful. Inhale, make a semicircle with the toes. Find a big arch in the side of your body, taking a peek over your left shoulder, and then come back to center. One more time, making a semicircle with your toes, reaching, breathing, thinking expansion here, and then slowly coming back to center. Bringing the knees out wide, the toes touching, sinking the heels back, and coming into a child's pose just for a few breaths. Noticing maybe the right side of the body, how it differs from the left right now. Maybe feeling a little bit more open. And then coming back to the breath. The inhale through the nose. And the exhale out through the mouth. Nice, we're going to come into that movement on the opposite side now. So on our next inhale, we're going to come up into our tabletop pose, bringing the left knee to the left tricep. And then come back to your child's pose. Inhale, bring that left knee to the left tricep. Holding it there for a moment longer than you want to, and then coming all the way back down. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale, bring that left knee to the left tricep. And then bring the left hand down to the left pinky. The toes are pointed out towards the corner of the mat. Nice. Plugging into the hands here, we're going to lift that back knee up and kind of bring it in. So we're kind of in like a little primal squat here. Options are to keep the top of the foot down or to curl it under, whatever feels good for you. Beautiful. We're going to bring that right hand to the right corner of the mat. We're going to inhale, reach that left arm all the way up, reaching towards the back of the room here. And then exhale, sweep that arm to the front of the room, finding flexion in the spine, dropping the head, reaching both hands forward. Beautiful. Take that again. Inhale, sweeping it up, opening, noticing, and exhale, coming back through center. Nice. We'll take that one more time. Knowing that what I'm telling you is just a suggestion. You don't have to listen to me. Inhale, coming back up through. Really reaching, lifting here. Nice. And then we'll slowly come all the way back through here for a moment, reaching towards the front of the room. And then bringing the shoulders up over the hips here. Nice. We're going to pivot that foot. We're going to pivot the left foot out towards the left side of the room here. So all four corners are on the feet, or on the ground, I'm sorry. We're going to inhale, reach both arms up, and then exhale, drop the left hand down onto the left leg, coming into gate pose. Take a nice deep breath here for this nice big side body stretch. Reaching all the way through the fingertips. And then maybe turning the ribs and the heart up towards the sky. Yeah, nice. Beautiful. One more breath here. And then we'll find our counter gate pose, coming down onto the right hand, reaching the left hand all the way up just for a breath. And then bringing both hands down, maybe flipping on your mat here, whatever side you were facing, coming into your tabletop with your left leg extended out. The toes are on the ground here and the heel is stacked over. Noticing that the hip points are both pointing down towards the ground here, and that the middle of the back, our natural curve that we have, that we're engaging the core here, the abdomen, by pulling the middle of the back in and up. Nice. We're going to slowly rock back, bringing in a little toe stretch, a little foot stretch. And then slowly rock the shoulders up and past the hands. Rocking back, breathing into any areas of tightness or a sensation, and coming up. One more time, reaching that ankle, that foot, that heel towards the back of the room. Nice. And slowly releasing out here. Coming into our tabletop pose, we're going to make sure that we're nice and integrated. Again, just kind of like what I was talking about. So we're really plugging into the hands. All 10 fingertips are spread out towards the front of the room. And instead of just like having our natural curve in our spine where our tailbone is lifting up and our shoulders are arching up, we're just going to pull the middle of the back in and up so that we can have this nice neutral spine. Nice. We'll stay here for a minute longer. Beautiful. And then options are to stay onto your knees, or we're going to come into a high plank pose just for a few breaths. So curling the toes under, really spreading out through the hands and drawing the crown of the head forward as the heels are drawn to the back of the room. Breathing here, getting long in the side bodies, really pushing up and out through the fingertips, up and out through the palms. And then we're going to slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Coming onto our stomachs. Nice, just bringing the hands underneath the forehead here and just dropping the forehead down onto the back of the hands. Doing nothing but noticing the breathing just for a few breaths. Yeah, nice. Not listening to any narratives that your mind begins to spiral to you. You know, those black holes that we can suddenly get sucked into. The mind's supposed to think and the mind's supposed to do that. So that's completely natural. But here, taking a moment just to notice the feeling of the mat underneath you, the ground underneath you, and what it feels like to really take a nice deep breath and have your stomach expand out into the ground. Nice. We'll slowly release out, bringing the hands really close alongside the ribs here. So like if you were to put a piece of paper between your rib cage and your hands, that piece of paper wouldn't be able to be pulled away. We're going to really bring the elbows in to really like touch the body here, to frame the body here. Nice. We're gonna come into some cobra waves. So plugging into the pelvis and the tops of the feet, even maybe the toenails. We're gonna draw the shoulder blades and elbows in, and we're gonna inhale, roll up, keeping a nice big bend in the elbows, and then exhale, roll down. Inhale, roll up for your baby cobra. Exhale down. Be nice and gentle with yourself here. This is a big back opening that we're doing in the lower back. So just noticing what your body needs and gifting yourself whatever it needs right here and right now. We'll do 2 more. And then exhale all the way down. Nice, we'll slowly push up on the hands, coming up onto the knees, coming into a kneeling pose. Feeling free to grab a block if it feels good to put underneath your bum for some support. Otherwise, we're all just gonna curl our toes under here so that the tops of our feet are on the mat. Nice. And now stacking the shoulders directly over the hips here. And again, finding that engagement in the lower back. So not letting the tailbone stick out, but instead pulling that lower back and that core together. Dropping the hands alongside of you, tenting them out like you're holding little butterflies underneath them. If they don't reach, that's fine too. Just actively extending through the fingers. We're gonna take our gaze over to the right side of the room. And here, dropping the shoulders down and away from the ears. Like we're always kind of like this. That's just how we've been evolving, like bringing our shoulders up towards our ears. So we'll just try to actively drop them down here. Breathing into the side of the neck, trying to keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. And then we'll slowly come back through center and all the way over to the left side. Yeah, now if you're at home or wherever you're at, like don't notice all the things that you need to do. Just like notice how your body feels. Try to stay focused in on your body. Coming back through center, and then just take some circle rolls, whatever feels natural. Rolling to the left, rolling to the right. Nice. And then coming back through center, we'll inhale, shrug the shoulders up towards the ears now, and then exhale, roll them down and back. Nice. Inhale, roll the shoulders up, and exhale, roll them down and back. One more time. Inhale, roll them up, and exhale, down and back. Nice. We'll drop the chin into the chest here, opening in the back of the neck. Staying here with the fingertips extended out or adding on by interlacing the fingers behind the head and gently adding some weight to the back of the head here. Taking your breath all the way down your spine, as if you could like x-ray yourself with your breath. Just noticing how the vertebrae feel, how your ribs feel. And then getting really heavy in your lower half. We'll inhale, slowly come back to neutral, and then transition as we take the gaze all the way up here. You can still be with your hands down. Otherwise, kind of cradle the back of your head with your hands here so that you don't crank your head too far back. Beautiful. One more nice deep breath, taking this breath into the center of your heart, opening up here. And exhale, slowly make your way into your tabletop pose. Nice. Beautiful. We'll knock our hips over to the left side of the mat and we'll take a peek over our right shoulder here. Staying here, walking the hands all the way off the mat, coming into this like C shape. Gently walking back through center and all the way over to the opposite side. Knocking the hips to the right, taking the gaze over the left shoulder. Working even now into the obliques, the abdomen. Slowly coming back through center, and then we'll make our way onto our bum here. Yeah, coming into a nice, easy seat. Feeling free to bring your block underneath your hips if you need some support, if that feels a little bit better to keep the knees below the hips. You can extend the leg out if that feels good. The only thing that I want you to be concerned with is keeping your spine nice and tall. So the crown of your head is reaching up as the sit bones are nice and connected with the earth. Nice. Beautiful. We're going to bring the arms out to a T here. We're going to flip both palms up. And then we're just going to take a look at both of our hands. Like when we lift our arms, sometimes we can really lift them towards the back of the room. And there's a lot of great things with that. But right now, we just want the hands in line with the shoulders. Nice. So really actively spreading through the hands. We're going to flip the left hand down and take a peek over at our right hand. Thinking here, dropping the shoulders away from the ears and really being active through those fingertips. Now we're going to switch our gaze over to the left hand, flip the right hand down, and flip the left hand up. Breathing here, extending all the way from the center, all the way out through the shoulders, the fingertips. Still being nice and heavy in your lower half and having a nice long spine, we'll flip the left hand down, take our gaze over to the right, flip the right hand up. Beautiful. Slowly flip that right hand down, take the gaze over to the left, flip the left hand up. Nice. Slowly release down to center and shake the hands out a little bit. We'll interlace the fingers here, flip the palms towards the front of the room, and then lift the palms all the way up towards the ceiling. Taking a nice, deep, big stretch here in the side body and the spine. Maybe even adding on by taking the gaze all the way up to the ceiling. Rooting down into the sit bone, getting nice and long. Nice. And then gently release the fingertips here. We're going to rain the fingertips all the way down, coming into a seated forward fold. Feeling free to add on your block or a book to rest your head, to bring your shins up to your chest to add support however you need here. Yeah, being kind to yourself and helping yourself with the props that you have around you, whether that's a pillow or a couch cushion or books, maybe even a dog. And then just breathing here. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Feeling free to add on by rocking side to side, each hip, adding a little fluidity, a little water. And then rooting down into the sit bones, we'll bring the hands all the way back up, growing up nice and long here. And then we're going to bring the hands behind us. The fingers are going to be pointing towards the body and the palms are going to be down onto the mat. We're going to come up onto our sit bones and lift our legs up and switch the cross of our legs here. Beautiful. Setting the legs back down, coming into our nice, easy seat. Beautiful. We'll inhale, reach the arms up. And now, instead of folding all the way, we're just going to come down, reaching forward. And then we're going to come all the way back up. Beautiful. We'll do that again, coming down, but not staying. And then reaching back up. Nice. Now this time we are going to stay. So really rooting down into the sit bones, thinking hinging at the hips here. We're going to slowly hinge forward, trying to reach towards the front of the room. And then folding, taking the gaze down whenever you get to your spot of comfort. And breathing here into any tightness, any discomfort. Noticing what's going on with the body. Right, this is a great opportunity to just look into the dark corners or the deep corners that sometimes we just ignore. Kind of like a spring cleaning for our body. My friend Ellen said that the other day. She's going to spring clean her body. Beautiful. Take one more nice deep breath here. And then rooting down until the sit bones come all the way back up. Nice. And we'll bring the hands back behind us this time. We'll bring the feet down onto the ground so the knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. And we'll inhale, open the chest up towards the sky and drop the head back. Nice. Slowly releasing out. We'll bring our feet to either side of the mat so that we can come into our tabletop pose. Nice. Now here, again, integrating the hands and the shoulders, finding the activation in the core so that we can have a nice neutral spine from the crown of the head to the tail here. Nice. Beautiful. We're going to come into a little shoulder work. So placing our weight into our left hand, we're going to inhale, sweep our right hand all the way up towards the ceiling. Take a peek at those fingertips. And then we're going to exhale, thread that needle, bringing the right hand underneath the left, setting the right temple and the right shoulder on the ground. Reaching that left arm to the top of the mat here, or even bringing it right underneath your shoulder, your left shoulder, to help push up and into your shoulder girdle here. Nice, we'll stay here for 4 more breaths. So feeling free to add on or subtract however you need. Maybe by taking the bind behind the back. Maybe sinking down to a child's pose. Just taking what you need here. Nice. On that last exhale, we'll bring the left hand directly underneath the left shoulder, and we'll inhale, lift up, find that big juicy twist here, opening back up towards the ceiling, and then exhale that hand down. Nice. We'll take it to the other side, placing the weight into the right hand. Inhale, reach that left hand up, find that opening, and then exhale, thread that needle, bringing the left temple, the left shoulder down onto the ground. Extending that right arm to the top of the mat, or wherever you need here. Wherever you're at, breathing into any areas of sensation so that you can bring awareness to those areas. And by bringing awareness and breath to those areas, can let go of a little bit of tension or gripping or discomfort. Nice. 2 more big, beautiful breaths here. Then bringing that right hand underneath the shoulder, if it's not there already, we'll inhale, twist all the way back up. And then exhale, set the hand down, feeling free to take a round of cat and cow here. Finding flexion and extension in the spine. Something with sitting and walking all day we don't necessarily get. Nice. We're going to make our way into our first downward facing dog. So curling the toes under here, pressing down through all 10 fingertips here. We're going to lift the hips up. Nice. Now we're going to keep the knees nice and bent here. Just for a few moments, just for a few breaths, as we really find our hands, our palms pressed into the top of our mat. Our fingertips are all spread out. And we're going to shake our head yes a few times and no a few times. And then find a little bit of stillness. Pedaling out the feet still if you need it. I shouldn't have said stillness yet, but pedaling out the knees. And then finding your stillness, straightening the legs, lifting the hips up and back. Letting the heels reach down towards the earth. If they don't touch, that's okay. Just the point of trying here. Nice. And then we're going to find some external rotation in our front arms here. So instead of letting the elbow pits kind of move down towards the mat, we're actually going to try to lift the elbows up and towards the front of the room here. So finding just like a spiral in the front arms. And finding the breath. Finding the breath again and again is something that we always talk about in yoga, as maybe you have experienced or maybe not. But it's because breath is our pathway into being present, into being in the present moment. So when you notice the breath, the inhalation, the expanding of the belly, you're noticing what's happening in this present moment, not something of the past, not something of the future, but right here and right now. Nice. Beautiful. We'll all come up onto our toes if we're not there already. And we're going to slowly step our right foot in front of our left. And then slowly step our left foot over to the right side of the mat. And we're just going to like crisscross all the way up to forward fold here. Taking as many steps as you need. Getting a little sassy with it if it feels good. And then eventually making your way to your forward fold. And here, we're gonna really bend our knees again so that we take this out of our hamstrings and glutes and rather into our spine here. So letting the thighs come up towards the belly and the belly drop down towards the thighs. Feeling free to add in your block here underneath the hands and dropping the head wherever you're at. Rooting into all four corners of the feet. And imagine here that you could like take off the top of your skull, the top of your head, and all of your small worries and small concerns that add up over time, all those small little details that just kind of get in your way every day. Imagine that they could all spill out right here on your mat. Nice. We'll take 3 more nice deep breaths here, noticing where the gaze is at, what we call in yoga our drishti, or gaze. Noticing where the breath is at. And feeling the feet and maybe the hands really grounded down into the earth. Nice. Really plugging into the feet here. We're going to slowly roll up. We're going to roll up slower than you want to. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Just slow, 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 slow. Having the chin and the head be the last thing that lifts. I don't know if you all can see me. And then reaching the arms all the way up, taking the gaze up, spreading through the fingers. The palms are facing towards one another. Nice. And exhale the hands down towards heart center. Maybe gently close the eyes here for a moment. Maybe think of something that you're grateful for. A loved one, a dog, your body, your freedom. Taking one more breath. And then drop the hands down to circle them all the way up. And then we're going to exhale and fold forward here, grabbing opposite elbows so that we come into a ragdoll. Really plugging into all 4 corners of the feet. We're going to sway side to side, maybe adding a little bend into the knees. Think drop the head, drop the head. Yeah. Nice. Beautiful. Release the hands down. Nice. We're going to slowly bring our hands up to the tops of the feet so that the palms are connected with the tops of the feet. Then we're going to slowly draw the hands up onto the shins, past the knees, all the way onto the thighs, bringing like the palms into your hip creases here. On your next inhale, we'll lift up halfway, making this like reverse 7-figure shape. Drawing the shoulder blades together here, getting long from the tail, the tailbone to the crown of the head. Drawing the shoulder blades, opening in the chest, and then exhale, forward fold. Nice, we'll do that one more time. Inhale, draw the hands all the way up until the hip creases, finding that spot to just like shove them in there. And then inhale, lift up halfway, find this length. Find a little micro bend in your knee here too, so that you don't lock out your knees. One more breath. And then exhale, forward fold. Beautiful. Planting the hands into the top of the mat and maybe stepping all the way to the top of your mat if you're not there already. We're gonna step the left foot all the way to the back of the mat, setting the left knee down here. So what we're going for is having our front knee over our front ankle, and feeling free to grab a block, a book, or a prop if you have one, and finding length in your spine here. If you don't have anything, that's fine. Just kind of like lift up and find length from the crown to the tail here. Think drawing that right hip crease back as we drop the hips down towards the mat. Taking the gaze off the front of the mat here. And just breathing into this moment as we slow down. Right, when you slow down, you feel. And when you have a moment to feel, you have a moment to do a little healing. And when we have that moment to heal, we also have opportunity to grow. So sometimes slowing down is a really good thing. It can be the most productive thing we can do. Nice. Taking one more nice deep breath here. Beautiful. We'll bring the left hand down to the mat. We're going to sweep the right hand all the way up. Options are to stay here or to pop that back knee up. Taking the gaze all the way up to those fingertips and drawing that front knee and that front elbow into midline here. Drawing everything up into center as we find this big juicy twist, maybe even letting that hand fall out behind you. One more breath here. Nice, slowly release that hand all the way down, and we'll step into a high plank pose. Feeling free to set down the knees if that feels good. Otherwise, just waking up the core, feeling a little bit of energy here. And then pushing back to downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet as needed. Nice. And then finding 3 breaths of stillness. Really spreading out through the fingertips here and trying to find that external rotation in the front of the arms so you can take this out of the wrists. Dropping the head between the biceps. Lifting the hips up and back. Nice. Coming up onto the toes here. We're just going to tiptoe to the front of the mat. Taking as many steps as you need, really pushing into the hands here. A great shoulder workout. And then finding your forward fold. Nice. We're going to use our first 2 fingers here to wrap around our big toes. We're going to inhale, lift up halfway, find length. And then exhale, bend the elbows. Draw the head down and draw the elbows towards the back of the room here for gorilla pose. Breathing into any areas of tightness. Nice. Slowly release the hands out. We'll inhale, lift up halfway. Feeling free to bring the hands onto the thighs or the shins. And exhale, release. Plant the hands into the ground. We're going to step the right foot to the back of the mat, coming into our low lunge, setting that back knee down, keeping the toes curled under, coming onto the top of the foot. Wherever you're at, noticing that that front knee is stacked over the ankle. The left hip crease is drawing back, and the hips are dropping down towards the ground. Feeling free to add in your prop or block here just to find length in the spine, finding integrity in the spine. Nice. And always just coming back to that breath, that prana, that life force of energy that literally is what keeps us alive. Right? This breath that comes in and out of our lungs, into our bloodstream, Nice. 2 more nice deep breaths here. Nice. We'll bring the right hand down. Inhale, lift the left hand up, find a twist here. Staying here, curling the back toes under and lifting up and off that knee. Nice. Lengthening from hand to hand, from crown of the head all the way to your heel here. And maybe even letting that top hand fall down towards the right side of the room. Nice. One more nice deep breath here. And then bring both hands down, frame that front foot, and then we'll step back into our high plank pose, pushing back into downward facing dog. Nice. Plugging down into the hands here, we're going to inhale, lift up the right heel here, keeping the toes pointed down, lifting from the hips. Nice. Three-legged dog. Then staying here, or begin to open up the hips, stacking the hips on top of one another, bringing the heel down towards the bum as you take a peek under your right armpit. Oh, that sun. Feeling free to add in any movement that feels good, maybe some knee circles, maybe just shaking out the leg. And then slowly setting that foot down, we'll take it to the opposite side. Inhale, lift the left leg up, lifting from the heel, toes point down. Nice, spreading through the fingertips. Nice. Then opening up, bringing the heel towards the bum, stacking the hips, maybe adding some circles, maybe taking a peek under your left armpit. And then extend that leg back out, set that leg down. Nice. Beautiful. On our next inhale, we're going to bring our right foot all the way to our right hand here. We're going to set up for our warrior one. So we're going to pivot on the back foot so that the left toes are facing the left, like 60 degrees out towards the side. Nice. Keeping the front knee stacked over the ankle here. We're going to inhale, lift the shoulders up over the hips, and plug into both feet. So equal weight distribution in both feet here. So take a moment to find it. Take a moment to see if your stance is wide enough. And bring your hands to heart center here. Again, like we were in our low lunge, we're going to imagine pulling our right hip crease back, and we're going to spiral our left ribs towards the front of the room here. Staying here, lifting both hands up, palms facing one another, extending out through all 10 fingers. Maybe even adding on by taking the gaze up, still keeping the bend in the front knee. Nice. And then exhale, bring the hands all the way down, frame that front foot, and we're going to step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet as needed. Nice. And then we'll take it to the left side, stepping the left foot to the left hand here, pivoting on those back toes, and then setting up, bringing the shoulders over the hips here. Finding a nice deep bend in that front knee and drawing it towards the pinky toe edge. So not letting it collapse in here, but letting it kind of move towards the left side of the mat. Bringing the hands to heart center. We're lifting both arms up here, extending out, breathing, right? A lot's going on here, so finding a little softness, perhaps in the face, perhaps between the ears, perhaps in the jaw. One more nice deep breath here. And we're gonna bring the hands down, frame the front foot, but this time we're gonna step the back foot to meet the front for forward fold. Inhale, lift up, find length here. And exhale, fold. Nice. We'll heel toe our feet towards one another so that they're pretty close. And we're going to inhale, lift the lift the shoulders up as we sink the hips down here. We're coming into a chair pose with hands at heart center. So chair can look like a lot of different things for a lot of different people. But what I've been working on lately is instead of trying to go so deep, I'm trying to draw my knees to be over my ankles here. And then I'm really trying to broaden through my chest here so I'm not hunched over. Nice, beautiful. So we're all gonna eventually make our way down to a seat, but we can do that in a fun way. So if you're game, we're gonna come up onto the toes here. Really pressing into the hands here and breathing. We're gonna slowly sink our hips down a little bit. Going slower than you want, we're gonna slowly sink our hips all the way down towards our heels here. And then wrapping our hands around our shins, we'll roll all the way down. Nice. Maybe rock and rolling a few times on your mat, on your spine. Beautiful. And then we'll be in a seat for the rest of our practice today. So coming onto your bum, we're going to extend the legs out in front of us. Our toes are flexed up towards the ceiling. The heels are rooted into the earth. Both of our sit bones are nice and rooted. Sometimes we have to move some stuff around, so make that happen. And then we're going to inhale, bring the right knee into the chest, and then cross it over the left knee here. Keeping that extended foot nice and flexed here. And finding the crown draw up towards the ceiling as the sit bones root down. We'll inhale, reach the right arm up, the left arm, I'm sorry. And then we'll wrap the left arm all the way around that knee. Staying here or hooking the elbow onto the knee, whatever feels good for you. We'll bring the right hand behind us like a second spine. We'll inhale, lift up, find length, and exhale, take the gaze towards the back of the room. Again, maybe acknowledging something you're grateful for. And then inhale, lengthening, and exhale, twisting a little bit more. Inhale, find length, sit up taller, and exhale, take your gaze even further. Nice. One more breath here. And we'll slowly bring the head back. Release the leg out, but now we're gonna bring our right foot towards our left hip crease here. So we're gonna bring it on top of our thigh here. And sometimes there's some discomfort in this because we're not used to like getting the tops of our thighs pushed down. So if there's a lot of discomfort, that's fine. You can move out of it. You can bring it into a figure four here, or you can bring a block or prop underneath the knee here to help alleviate a little bit of that. Nice. Finding length, we'll inhale, reach the arms up, and we'll exhale and fold over this half locust pose. Reaching the hands down, dropping the head, and breathing. Reminding yourself that like pain is in the head, that discomfort is temporary. Like if you feel any real pain, please back off. But otherwise, just breathe into those sensations and open yourself up to the experience. We'll slowly sit all the way back up. We'll extend that leg out towards the front of the room and just popcorn the knees up and down a few times. Nice, we'll take it to the other side, drawing the left knee into the chest and then crossing it over the right knee here. Still extending that, flexing that extended foot. We'll inhale, reach the left arm up, and we'll inhale, reach the right arm up. Whoa, I'm getting so twisted here. And we'll wrap it around the left leg here. Bringing the left hand behind us, we'll inhale, sit up tall, and exhale, begin to twist towards the back of the room. Yeah, bringing another motion to our spine that we don't necessarily get every day. This nice juicy twist as we inhale and lengthen, and exhale, twist. 2 more nice deep breaths here. And then slowly coming back to center. We'll pick that left foot up and then bring it in towards the right hip crease here. Nice. Feeling free to come into any modifications or adaptations. And then we'll inhale, reach the arms up, find length, and then slowly fold over that leg here.
Dropping the head whenever you get to your point of comfort. And getting a little soft. Getting soft again. Maybe releasing out in the glutes, the calf. Maybe bringing your awareness to your toes here. One more nice deep breath. And then we'll slowly come all the way up, extend the leg out, and we'll come into a little straddle here. So letting the heels come into the ground and pointing the knees and the toes up. Yeah, nice. Beautiful. We'll inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, fold forward. Feeling free to grab a block or prop. Reaching the fingertips forward and breathing here into the hips and the groin, the hamstrings, the IT band, the psoas. Anything that you're feeling is valid and important. But try not to create a story around those feelings or emotions that arise. Try to just be right here in your body and your breath. Nice. 2 more nice deep breaths here. And then we'll slowly come back up onto our sit bones here, bringing both feet and coming into a butterfly pose. So finding your diamond shape, if it needs to be closer to your body or further away, we want the outer edges of our feet connecting and letting our toes splay out, kind of like we're reading a book. We'll bring our hands into the insides of our feet and just give ourselves a nice little quick foot massage. Nice little reflexology, little TLC. Nice. Beautiful. And then thinking from the hips here, let's all bring our hands to our hips and let's just begin to fold from our hips, trying to keep the crown of our head and our spine in line here. Stopping whenever you get to your point where you can't fold anymore. So right now, this is what this looks like for me. Trying to keep the integrity of this, or moving with your body, however feels authentic and good to you. Staying here for 2 more breaths. Maybe adding some micro movement or fluidity into this asana, this posture. Nice. And slowly coming up onto your sit bones. We'll bring the feet onto the ground, the knees out, the knees up towards the ceiling here. And then we'll heel toe the feet to the outer edges of the mat and just let the knees drop in towards one another. Feeling free to let one knee drop in at a time. Yeah. Nice. And then we'll slowly bring the hands out alongside our legs here. And then plugging into our feet and our sit bones, we're just going to slowly come all the way down to the mat. Going slower than you want, integrating the core. Nice. Beautiful. And then maybe readjusting on your mat however you need. We'll inhale, draw both knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze, rocking on the lower back. Side to side, giving yourself, a free massage. I'm all about those. Nice, beautiful. Bringing both feet down onto the ground now. We're gonna bring our hands to either side of our hips and just try to check in with our ankles just to make sure our ankles are in line with our hips. So our feet are nice and plugged into the mat, all four corners, both big toes, both back of the heels. Beautiful. And then on your next inhale, we're going to lift up into a bridge pose, working from the front of the body and pushing the front of the body up. Trying to nestle up onto your shoulders by bringing them underneath you here. And drawing both knees in towards center. Like imagine you had an imaginary block there. You can feel free to add in your real block. And you just need to squeeze it nice and tight as if someone was going to grab it from you. So really working from the front of the body, trying to leave the glutes out of this. Like we often will tighten the glutes to help lift the self up, but use the front of the body here. Use the top of the thighs, the core, the chest. And then slowly come all the way down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Nice, beautiful. Taking one cycle of breath here. Plugging down into the feet. We'll inhale, lift the hips up. Not nestling the shoulders under this time, because on our next inhale, we're going to lift the hands up towards the ceiling. And then all the way down behind us. Lifting the hips up a little higher, we're going to lift the hands all the way up towards the ceiling. And then bring them down behind us. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale, lift the hips, lift the hands. And then we're going to set the hips down and set the hands down at the same time. Nice, beautiful. We'll come into Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out wide, kind of like we're in butterfly pose here. And let's bring a hand to the heart and the belly. Actively pressing all 10 toes in towards one another. And again, making this butterfly pose as challenging or restorative as you want by either drawing the feet closer to the body or further away. And then feeling free to close the eyes here, keep them open. I would like to do a little bit of pranayama, a little bit of breath work. So the breath work I would like to do today is going to be Dhyana Pranayama, which is a 3-part breath. So I'll explain it to you first before we get into it. It's going to be in and out through the nose, and it's 3 parts. So the very first breath, the very first sip of air we're going to take, we're going to send that breath all the way to the stomach and feel the stomach expand. Then without exhaling, we're going to inhale, take another sip of breath, and take it all the way into our ribs. And then we're going to take one more sip of breath without exhaling and take it into our chest. Then we're going to exhale in reverse order. We're going to exhale from the chest to the ribs to the belly. Now, if you are pregnant or have a heart condition or any elements that you should be worried about, then don't partake in this breath. Otherwise, let's begin. Inhale to the belly without exhaling. Inhale to the ribs. Inhale to the chest. And exhale it all out. Inhale belly. Inhale ribs. Inhale chest. Exhale it out. Inhale belly. Inhale ribs. Inhale chest. Exhale it out. Inhale belly. Inhale ribs. Inhale chest. Exhale it out. Continue on with this breath. Inhale belly, ribs, chest, exhale. Belly, ribs, chest, exhale. Inhale belly, ribs, chest, exhale. 3 more times. Belly, ribs, chest. Exhale. Belly, ribs, chest. Exhale. Last time. Belly, ribs, chest. Exhale. And then gently come back into your natural breathing. Noticing any sensations or tingling, relaxation. Nice. Then we'll gently release out. We're going to bring the hands to the outer edges of the knees and close the knees like your favorite book. Hugging the lower back into the mat. We're going to inhale, reach the legs all the way up towards the ceiling, flexing the toes down towards the nose here. Options are to reach the hands overhead, to bring them alongside the hips, or to even bring them underneath the hips here. We're just allowing the legs and the hips to technically be over the heart here, letting all the blood and lymph fluid that we have stored in our legs just kind of cycle out into our belly. Yeah. Get in a little restore here and a little bit of core. Maybe you are beginning to feel the shake of the legs, drawing them in towards one another, pretending that they're one big leg instead of two. And really flexing the toes down towards the nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock side to side 15 times. Nice. Beautiful. We're going to bring the arms out to a T here. We're going to bring the hands into fists so that the pinky edge is on the ground. Beautiful. We're going to come into a supine twist like core thing. So we're going to drop the knees down over to the right side nice and slow. Before they touch the ground, we're just going to let them hover here. Really pressing into the fist, into the left shoulder. Breathing here. Bringing the awareness to the core, bringing the knees all the way back up into center. Nice, we'll take it to the other side. Getting heavy in the right shoulder, really letting the fist push down into the ground. We'll slowly drop the legs over to the left side, keeping them up and hovering them over the ground. Breathing into the obliques, the abdomen muscle that wraps all the way around you like a corset. Inhale the knees back up to center. And this time we'll just drop them all the way down towards the right side, coming into supine twist, letting the hands splay out, letting the shoulders reach down towards the ground, and taking the gaze, if it feels good, all the way to the left side of the room. Yeah, bringing the breath back here as we, again, move the spine in a really beneficial way. Nice. We'll stay here for 3 more breaths. And on that third breath, bringing your awareness back to your core and pulling both knees back up to center, and then dropping them over to the left side of the room. Trying to keep the shoulder blades nice and heavy rooted into the earth, and maybe bringing the gaze all the way over to the right fingertips. And if the mind begins to wander, let it wander to something that you're grateful for. Let it wonder about your breath. Bring it back into this present moment. And on your next inhale, bring the knees back into the chest. We'll wrap the hands around the shins. On your next inhale, peel the back of the head and the shoulders up and off the mat, bringing the forehead into the knees here, curling into a tiny little ball. Inhale through the nose here, and exhale. Make a sound as you exhale out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, and exhale. Release all the way down, taking the arms out to the top of the mat and the legs long. Take a full body stretch here. Point and flex the toes, circle the wrists. And then gently roll onto your favorite side, pushing up with your top hand, coming into a nice, easy seat. Nice. Beautiful. And then we'll slowly end our practice today. Thank you for stopping in. I said this was going to be 30 minutes, and I guess it went a little bit longer. So thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.